You won't believe what some creatures can survive. And by the end of this story, you'll question whether humans are even the dominant species on this planet. Because while we complain about summer heat waves, there are animals out there swimming in boiling ponds, thriving inside volcano-powered vents, and walking across deserts hot enough to melt rubber. And each one of these creatures isn't just surviving the heat. They're rewriting the rules of life on Earth. So let's take a journey through some of the most extreme environments known to science and meet the top 10 organisms that treat deadly heat as casually as we treat a warm bath. The first creature forces you to rethink what too hot even means. Deep on the ocean floor, volcanic vents blast out water that could cook pasta in seconds. And yet, tube worms, long white pillars crowned with crimson plumes, gather around them like people huddling near a campfire. They can withstand temperatures over 176 degrees Fahrenheit because they don't even rely on a stomach. Instead, they partner with bacteria that turn toxic chemicals into food. It's an alliance so specialized that if you remove them from these near-boiling vents, they'd starve. For them, extreme heat isn't a threat, it's home. But if you think tube worms are impressive, the tardigrade laughs politely and then keeps surviving. Even though it's smaller than a grain of sand, it's one of the toughest animals ever discovered, able to endure 300 degrees Fahrenheit heat by drying itself into a tiny husk. In this state, its metabolism drops to 0.01% of normal, and its DNA winds itself into protective knots. Scientists even blasted them with temperatures that would vaporize most organisms, and the tardigrades simply woke up later as if they'd taken a nap. If resilience had a mascot, this microscopic creature would be it. Now imagine an animal that swims into literal hot springs. The desert pupfish does exactly that. Living inside isolated oases where temperatures can exceed 113 degrees Fahrenheit, this small blue fish has enzymes that don't break down in extreme heat, and it can adjust the proteins inside its cells in real time to avoid cooking alive. It's a living reminder that evolution doesn't need size to produce a powerhouse, just the pressure of an unforgiving desert. Still, deserts have their royalty, and none claim the throne more elegantly than the Saharan silver ant. It lives in sand so hot that most insects perish within minutes. Yet these ants, well, they sprint across dunes when the temperature peaks at nearly 150 degrees Fahrenheit. Their secret? Hair. A dense coat of silver-reflective hairs bounces away sunlight like tiny shields, keeping the ants cool enough to race out, grab the carcass of a heat-struck insect, and dash home before turning into roasted snacks themselves. Their entire hunting strategy depends on heat that kills everything else. Speaking of heat-proof monsters, scientists discovered Pompeii worms, clinging to hydrothermal vents with water temperatures exceeding 176 degrees Fahrenheit. Their backs are covered in fuzzy bacterial jackets that insulate them like fire-resistant armor. It's such a strange partnership that some researchers believe the bacteria are essentially cooking these worms at a low simmer. But the worms don't just survive, they flourish. It's a relationship straight out of science fiction. A creature protected by a living coat of heat-loving microbes. Then there's the Sahara's desert liverwort, a plant that endures scorching surfaces humans could never touch. Instead of burning, it deactivates its own metabolism during peak heat, almost entering a vegetative blackout, then revives the moment temperatures dip. It's the botanical version of playing dead, except it works against the sun instead of predators. But no heat ranking would be complete without the thermophilic archaea. Microbes that don't simply tolerate high temperatures, they require them. Species like Pyrolobus fumari grow best at 235 degrees Fahrenheit, a temperature high enough to destroy most proteins on Earth. For a long time, scientists didn't believe life could exist at such extremes. But these archaea don't just exist, they multiply. Their enzymes are now used in industrial processes that need heat-proof biological tools, proving that nature's engineering often surpasses human design. Another heavyweight in this fiery lineup is the camel's desert-dwelling cousin, the dromedary. It looks peaceful and slow, but its ability to endure scorching heat is nearly unmatched among large animals. Its body temperature can rise by more than 10 degrees without damaging cells, preventing sweating and conserving water. Even its blood cells are shaped like tiny ovals that stretch without bursting during dehydration. This means that while humans begin to overheat in minutes, a camel can stroll through 120-degree landscapes like it's taking a casual walk through a park. Let's not forget the kangaroo rat, a creature that lives where the sun bakes the earth into cracked plates. While not typically thought of as heat-tolerant, its unique metabolism allows it to produce water internally by breaking down seeds. It barely sweats, barely drinks, and retreats into burrows cooled by clever architecture. It's not brute strength, it's masterful adaptation. But there is one creature that stands above the rest. Unmatched, almost unbelievable. Pyrococcus furiosus. Its name literally means rushing fireball, and it thrives at temperatures exceeding 212 degrees, the boiling point of water. It lives near volcanic vents, where few organisms can even remain intact. Scientists once heated samples of these microbes beyond what any known protein should endure, and yet they continued functioning. Its enzymes are so heat-resistant that industries use them for chemical reactions that require punishing temperatures. This organism isn't just heat-tolerant, it is heat-dependent. When you look at all these species together, a pattern emerges, one that flips everything we think we know about life. The creatures that thrive in brutal heat don't survive despite the extremes. They survive because of them. Their environments removed all competition, leaving only the organisms bold enough, tough enough, or strange enough to evolve into biological anomalies. Meanwhile, humans build air conditioners, seek shade, and panic when the thermostat crosses 100 degrees. But deep beneath the ocean, out in blistering deserts, and inside volcanic caverns, life pushes on with a confidence that borders on defiant. And the most fascinating part is this. Every extreme-tolerant creature on this list hints at what life might look like on other worlds. If Earth can grow organisms that swim in boiling water, bask in volcanic fumes, and race across burning sand, then the universe may be far more alive than we ever imagined.